everybody, it's Riah from Riahs Tie-Dye, and today we are doing a Valentine sea turtle. And first I am folding the shirt in half, and I'm only doing that to get the center point of my t-shirt. So after I get this all smoothed out and lined up, I am marking that center line, like I said, on the top and the bottom, and then I'm going to split the front and the back of the t-shirt. I'm going to line all of the fabric up the way that it should be, and I'm using binder clips to hold it in place. This shirt has been soaked in soda ash and spun out in the washer so that it is damp, but it's not dripping wet. So then you're going to want to do the same thing with the collar. Now my trick is normally to line up the shoulder seams, and then I put the other sleeve through to the other one so that when I do crumple that, it will sort of have the same design on both sides of the shirt. Now that we have the front and the back separated, we are smoothing the shirt out, and then we're going to draw our turtle. So obviously I'm doing the normal sea turtle that I normally do, and because it's going to be Valentine's Day soon, we're going to add a cute little heart and make sure we have enough room for geodes. That's why the heart isn't that big when I draw it. And like always, I am using a washable marker, which obviously it will wash out when you wash the shirt. And you can find it anywhere, literally anywhere. But I do have links in my description box below if you are interested in getting them through Amazon. I have lots of Amazon links just for stuff that I use. And now that I'm pleat folding, I'm making sure that my pleats are about the same height. If it's not perfect, it's not that big of a deal. You just want to try to get them the same height. Some will be bigger, some will be smaller, and those little edges for the heart, they're always very difficult to keep. While I pleat fold the rest of this body, I just wanted to let you guys know, definitely make sure you guys wash everything before you put it in soda ash. And I say that because a lot of these shirts come from factories that use a lot of residues, and they get residues from packaging, production, all that stuff. So if you end up running into a situation where your shirt is 100% cotton, but your dye just seems to rinse right out, most likely it's because of whatever residue was left in it, and maybe you didn't wash it beforehand. So just make sure whatever you're doing, wash the shirt or tapestry or whatever you're doing first before you get it in the soda ash. Alright, now we're going to make our special. I made up my slip knot already. We're going to get that on the body of the turtle and wrap it around a couple times and pull it nice and tight. Now this time, I'm not going to cut my sinew because I'm going to pleat my head, and it's going to go right up to the other sinew line. And then when you get that pulled tight, you're going to switch the shirt around so that you're down by the tail. And you're going to do the same exact thing with the tail, but the tail is really tiny, so it's a little difficult. It's never easy to get the perfect tail out of these turtles, but it's fun trying. And now on to the hard part. We're going to do the limbs of the turtle, which is not my favorite part at all, but just make sure that you have both layers of the shirt when you're trying to pleat fold this. Sometimes it takes me 2-3 tries to make sure I got all the fabric pleated together. So basically what I'm trying to do is when I first grab that bunch of fabric, I try to make sure that the lines on either side of that fabric are lined up so that they're the same height on the geode area, and then I split the rest of it in half and just pleat fold up in the air, I guess is the best way I can describe it. Then once you have that, you want to get sinew on there the best that you can and as lined up as you can. Wrap it around a couple times, pull tight, and if you're really worried that you didn't pull tight enough, wrap it around 2 more times and pull tight. And then you're going to want to do the same thing with the bottom fin. So you're going to try to get it as close to the body as you can so that it doesn't look like it's off in nowhere in the sea. So do the same exact thing, pull it really tight, so you definitely want those white lines. Now the last part of the turtle is the little geodes that we do in the shell. So that's what this bunched up piece of fabric is. Now it is tight, so you just have to try to stick your fingers up through the bottom to get some of that to tuft out some. So just get as close as you can to each one, and you want to wrap it as tight as you can. So normally, because they're so small, 3 times should be good. You shouldn't have to do any more than that. If you have enough room, like I said, do as many as you can. I try to get as close to the last geode as I possibly can and just go around in a zigzag motion. So I'll do this first row and then I'll start a new row after that. So it'll go towards the outside of the shell, and I'll just do as many as I can until I can't pull up any more fabric. Now that I'm using the sinew, I am going to let you know there are different types of sinew around. Not that I don't use the artificial, I do. I'm talking, the sinew that I'm using right now is a flat sinew, and it's not bad, but I prefer round. So you will just have to use whatever sinew that works best for you. The round, for me, gives me more precise white lines when I'm tying with it. This one seems to do good, and I get a lot of good white lines, but they seem really ragged sometimes. So when you're looking at sinew, just if you need to, try to use both and see which one you like best. I believe the one in my description box is round, and that's the sinew that I originally bought, and I do love that sinew. The sinew that I have right here, I actually needed right away, and I believe I bought it at Hobby Lobby, and it is flat. So like I said, I like the round version more, but the flat's okay too. Now we're tucking that sleeve in so that it's still lined up, but we're going to try to get the same pattern on both sides of the sleeves, and we're just going to scrunch up the best that we can. Try to make it the same height. If you don't make it the same height, you might have saturation issues, but it's not too important, so it'll be fine if you don't. But I try to get it the same height and try to get good crumples in there. So the rest of the shirt is going to be held together with rubber bands. I have new rubber bands and old rubber bands. The older ones are a lot stretchier because I've used them a lot more, and I do use some new ones too. They do hold together pretty well. The only thing that is bad about the new ones is that sometimes they make your design crumple up on itself. Now I'm going to show you what my ice dye setup looks like. So I have a shoe tray and a rack, and I use aluminum foil to make a border, and then I transfer that into my Rubbermaid tote. So if you end up pausing to look at the picture, basically it's a big Rubbermaid tote. I bought the white rack, which is an elevated rack from the kitchen section at Walmart. That way it is up off of the bottom of the tote so that it's not a muck dye, and it will allow for free flow of the ice melting and the dye. So it's a really good setup, and it's worked so far for me. I know a lot of people have different setups, but I really like mine personally. It's no mess. I do have to clean out the Rubbermaid tote and rinse off the racks, but that's not a big deal to me. The best part about it too is that each Rubbermaid tote has its own lid, so it kind of creates sort of a greenhouse effect. It will keep it nice and warm and nice and moist, and where I do have it is directly under a heater, so that's good. Now after putting the dye on, we're going to pile on some snow. We had a snowstorm a little while ago, so I figured I would use that to my advantage. Then you're going to let this sit for 24 hours, and we're going to do the reveal. Now I really wanted this turtle to be a Valentine's turtle, but I definitely wanted it to look like it was swimming in the ocean, so I think I achieved what I wanted, but let's see what you guys think. I know I love that seafoam color. Ooh, what a pretty background. Looks like he's swimming in the sea. I think we're gonna call him Sir Valentine. Ooh, look at my fat turtle. He's so cute. Alright, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, happy tie-dyeing.